mainstream media has been consistently bombarding us with news and reports about the impending doom of global warming, and it's not hard to notice the underlying agenda behind this propaganda. The reality is that the media, along with governments and corporations, have a vested interest in controlling the narrative and shaping public opinion on this issue. By perpetuating the fear of global warming, they aim to manipulate our perceptions, influence our behavior, and ultimately serve their own interests. One of the primary reasons for this propaganda is to justify the implementation of policies and regulations that benefit the elites at the expense of the general population. By creating a sense of urgency and panic around global warming, governments can impose draconian measures such as carbon taxes, emission limits, and renewable energy targets, which ultimately lead to increased government control and revenue. These policies often disproportionately affect the middle and lower classes, as they are forced to bear the brunt of increased energy costs, reduced economic growth, and decreased living standards. Corporations also stand to gain from the global warming hysteria. The shift towards renewable energy sources, for instance, has created a lucrative market for companies that manufacture and install solar panels, wind turbines, and other green technologies. Moreover, the emphasis on sustainability and environmentalism has enabled corporations to rebrand themselves as eco-friendly and socially responsible, thereby enhancing their public image and justifying high prices for their products. The media, in turn, benefits from the advertising revenue generated by these corporations, which further reinforces the cycle of propaganda. Another significant aspect of the global warming propaganda is the role of governments in shaping the narrative. Governments have a long history of using fear and misinformation to manipulate public opinion and justify their actions. In the case of global warming, they have created a self-perpetuating cycle of hysteria, where the media reports on the latest dire predictions, and governments respond with increasingly draconian measures, which in turn fuel further media coverage. This cycle of fear and control has become a powerful tool for governments to expand their authority, suppress dissent, and distract from more pressing issues such as economic inequality, social injustice, and corporate malfeasance. Furthermore, the global warming propaganda has also been used to undermine individual freedoms and promote a culture of conformity. By creating a sense of collective guilt and responsibility for the perceived harm caused by human activity, the media and governments have fostered an atmosphere of self-censorship and peer pressure, where individuals are discouraged from questioning the dominant narrative or expressing dissenting views. This has led to a stifling of debate, a suppression of alternative perspectives, and a marginalization of those who dare to challenge the status quo. In addition, the global warming propaganda has also been used to promote a Malthusian ideology, which posits that human population growth and consumption are the primary drivers of environmental degradation. This ideology has been used to justify policies aimed at reducing population growth, such as birth control, abortion, and sterilization, particularly in developing countries. This not only reflects a callous disregard for human life, but also perpetuates a racist and imperialist agenda, where the West seeks to impose its values and policies on the rest of the world under the guise of environmentalism. In conclusion, the mainstream media's obsession with global warming is not about raising awareness or promoting a genuine discussion about environmental issues. Rather, it is a carefully crafted propaganda campaign designed to control our perceptions, influence our behavior, and serve the interests of governments, corporations, and elites. By recognizing the underlying agenda behind this propaganda, we can begin to challenge the dominant narrative, promote a more nuanced and informed discussion about environmental issues, and ultimately, reclaim our individual freedoms and autonomy. It is essential that we approach this issue with a critical and discerning mindset, rather than blindly accepting the propaganda that is being fed to us. Only then can we hope to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable world, where the interests of all individuals and communities are respected and protected.